Is this a danger to we're not a democracy, of course, but is it a danger to our form of government?
So I'll answer really quickly, and then I'll pass it over to Representative Hudson. Just really quickly, the caveat to this, which is so bizarre in Minnesota, is the fact that state employees, by and large, are Democrats, and they vote Democrat. And the Walz administration, including Flanagan and his former chief of staff, Schmitter, were so brutal that these former Democrat employees want nothing to do with the Democrat Party anymore in Minnesota because they have been treated so horrifically.
What's so sinister about this is that you're right, that it absolutely is for electoral benefit and political benefit, but it's sold to one half of the population, and to the independents and to the conservatives, as we're giving people a hand up. We're going to help people who are in need. We're going to give them a temporary way back into working life. But they've set up an industry that's perpetual, where people just stay where they're at.
Right.
A jaw-dropping moment on Capitol Hill as a witness calmly described state officials threatening whistleblowers' homes, children, and livelihoods, and then reveals those officials were promoted. Congressman Glenn Groffman can't believe what he's hearing, and finally says what everyone is thinking. He just defines evil, doesn't he? Before we dive right back into it, make sure you like this video, subscribe to 50 Patriots, grab a seat, settle in, and let's get into it.
Gentleman yields back. Chair recognizes Mr. Groffman from Wisconsin.
Sure. I'm sorry we had another briefing in the building, so I don't want to go over past things. But during your initial testimony, Ms. Rarick, you talked about people being threatened who are whistleblowers. Do you know who those people were? Were they like people who made money off of this, political operatives? You know, could you elaborate on that a little?
Yes, thank you. So the people that were doing the threatening were the supervisors and directors within the state agencies.
So state employees were physically threatening whistleblowers.
They were saying things like, what happens if you lose your home, right? Because if you lose your job, you lose your home. They had pictures in their personnel files of their own homes and their cars. They asked where their children went to school and where their bus stop was. So there was direct threats and indirect threats.
Okay. Were any of these people brought to justice, or this is just the way they deal with things in Minnesota?
You know, it's an interesting thing within the Walz administration. Those people were promoted.
He just defines evil, doesn't he? Almost Vice President of the United States. There's a good book out there called The Tragedy of American Compassion. And in it, they went over the history of welfare and whether it should be done by the state or done privately. And they pointed out the danger that certain nefarious politicians would always want more welfare because they were buying votes. Do you, either one of you, in the political realm of things, feel that perhaps a motive for all the crookedness is, given the size of government today, the important who wins elections? Were they motivated a little bit by getting votes of groups of people? Is this a danger to we're not a democracy, of course, but is it a danger to our form of government?
So I'll answer really quickly, and then I'll pass it over to Representative Hudson. Just really quickly, the caveat to this, which is so bizarre in Minnesota, is the fact that state employees, by and large, are Democrats, and they vote Democrat. And the Walz administration, including Flanagan and his former chief of staff, Schmitter, were so brutal that these former Democrat employees want nothing to do with the Democrat Party anymore in Minnesota because they have been treated so horrifically.
What's so sinister about this is that you're right, that it absolutely is for electoral benefit and political benefit, but it's sold to one half of the population, and to the independents and to the conservatives, as we're giving people a hand up. We're going to help people who are in need. We're going to give them a temporary way back into working life. But they've set up an industry that's perpetual, where people just stay where they're at.
Right. So there's really an electoral incentive to make sure people don't get out of poverty. I'll give you another question. I used to be in the state legislature myself in Wisconsin. And I know that when we put together your budget, you have Fed funds, unlike money that, Wisconsin was getting in through our own income or sales tax. Insofar as the legislature is playing with Fed funds, you're not exactly as maybe careful with every dollar that's flowing through. And I'm trying to think what we can do to prevent this, because you're always going to have given political parties who think they can benefit from government largesse. And I think government by its nature is sometimes a little sloppy. Do you think the Minnesota government would be a little bit more careful here if on the various programs, and they varies from program to program, but if the state had to pick up 10 or 15 or 20 or 30% of the program so that they had skin in the game?
Thank you, sir. Yes, in a lot of these programs, the state does have skin in the game. So many of them, Minnesota roughly has a 50-50 Medicaid match. So many of them, it's federal tax dollars, but it's also state tax dollars. So we are paying for it twice, for our state tax dollars and then when we pay our
Right.
federal.
I know, I think Wisconsin, when I was there, was about a 60-40 match with the feds picking up 60. And that came into play. But I gather there's some programs on here that maybe the state match is zero. Is that accurate?
I would have to look at each program. I don't know for sure.
Okay. I'll ask you, just as state legislators, and different state legislators look at this question differently. Do you think as a country on some of these programs, we should be asking some of the programs that are 100% Fed funded now, we'd be better off if they were maybe 70% Fed funded or 75% Fed funded, so the states that have a little bit more of a skin in the game, I'll put it that way. And a concern I would have, insofar as there are programs which the state is picking up nothing, really the incentive is to have more graft because you just bring in Fed funds for the state.
Yes, sir. So we need to make sure the states have skin in the game so that they administer the programs properly, because otherwise their incentive is to draw down more federal money to take the burden off state taxpayers. But we're all taxpayers, so somebody's paying. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
Right, and not just no such thing as a free lunch. It encourages state legislators to look the other way because you're just bringing that money into the state. Okay. I kind of felt that way about Medicaid, but thanks.
I'm sorry, Glenn. Gentlemen, time's expired on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Chair recognizes, who's next? Ms. Simon.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I ask unanimous consent to enter into the.
This exchange starts quietly enough, but it escalates fast. Congressman Glenn Groffman asks a witness who exactly was threatening whistleblowers inside Minnesota state agencies. The answer is chilling. Not outsiders, not political activists, supervisors, directors, high-level state employees. The witness explains these weren't vague warnings either. Whistleblowers were told things like, what happens if you lose your job? Because if you lose your job, you lose your home. They had photos of employees' houses and cars. They asked where their kids went to school and where the bus stop was. Let that sink in. This wasn't bureaucratic pressure. This was intimidation. Groffman presses the obvious question. Were any of these people brought to justice? And the answer hits like a brick. No. Under the Walz administration, those people were promoted. That's when Groffman stops dancing around it and blurts out what millions of Americans are thinking. He just defines evil, doesn't he? From there, Groffman connects the dots. He talks about how massive government welfare systems can become political weapons. The bigger the system, the more incentive there is to protect it, grow it, and use it for electoral gain. He raises a concern that some politicians benefit when people stay dependent instead of getting ahead. The witness agrees, explaining that these programs are sold as a hand-up, but in reality they've created a permanent industry that traps people where they are. Even more telling, the witness notes that many state employees in Minnesota traditionally voted Democrat, but after being treated so brutally by the Walz administration, they want nothing to do with the party anymore. Groffman then shifts to the money. Federal funds. No accountability. He explains how programs that are 100% federally funded encourage states to look the other way, because there's no skin in the game if the state doesn't pay. The incentive is to bring in more federal cash, no matter how sloppy or corrupt the program becomes. The takeaway here is simple and disturbing. Whistleblowers were threatened. The abusers were rewarded. And the system itself encourages corruption while politicians hide behind compassion. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video. Subscribe to 50 Patriots. Share this with friends who follow political hearings. And see you in the next one.